for tuning in. This video will be about building effective relationships, and most of the information is gathered from John Van Epps' book on how to avoid falling in love with a jerk. So let's jump right in. So the book is really good, actually, and it talks about different ways to approach dating and approach marriage and relationships. And there were 4 key things that I gathered from the book that I thought was really helpful when considering dating or jumping into a relationship, which was the key to openness, the key to compatibility, the key to a balanced relationship, and the key to longevity. So throughout this video, you'll see me touch on these 4 keys, and hopefully at the end, you'll feel confident to use all these keys to open the door to a healthy relationship. All right, let's jump right in. So the key to openness basically covers the idea of being transparent and vulnerable and allowing yourself to really open up to the person that you're exploring. We all know that honesty is key to a relationship, just because we want to, fall for someone in our true version of ourselves, and understanding who we are can help the person to, 1, encourage them to open up and be themselves as well, and also to give them the courage to fall and jump right into love with you. So the key to openness is, again, being transparent, being truthful, not only with your partner, but also with yourself. So on the slide, you'll see on the right-hand column that it talks about observation and facts. So that's basically what you observe from the relationship, what you gather, the information that you're intaking during the dating process, and then also the facts, and then perspectives and opinions. So you want to make sure you have a place for those, an appropriate place, because our perspectives is not always the truth for others. So we want to make sure that we are observing the facts and then formulating a perspective and an opinion that is based on facts. Next is our experiences and emotions. Of course, this always weighs in heavily when dating. Emotions are high, experiences affect our emotions. So we want to make sure that, again, we are referring back to our observations and the facts when we are trying to process all those new emotions when dating and exploring someone else. Next is needs and responses. So we all have needs, but we want to make sure that our needs, of course, are our needs and not being placed as someone else's. So for example, if our need is to be properly loved, we want to make sure that we understand what love looks like to us, as well as effectively conveying that to the person that we are exploring. So we won't have our expectations defaulted and also have them removed in a sense of dating. So we want to make sure that our needs are met from ourselves. So we want to make sure that we are not expecting happiness from someone else, but we are, in fact, working on our own happiness. So we're going to come into a relationship whole. All right, next is the key to compatibility. This is kind of one of my favorites because we always say, opposites attract, or, we are pretty much the same people, so that's why it's working out. So both of those statements are true. But what I love about the book, it talks about exploring compatibility as not just commonalities and agreements, but also understanding where our strengths and weaknesses lie within comparison to the person that we're with. So, for example, if I am always late and he is always on time, then those attributes will match each other. And so that points to compatibility. But then it also can be 2 negatives, such as he's a procrastinator and I'm an overthinker, which can be, positive and negative, but generally they are looked at as two negatives. So those in together can be positive in a relationship. I can push him to be more proactive. He can push me to be less of an overthinker with his procrastination. So we can definitely build on each other's weaknesses, but also our strengths. Do they complement each other? Do we look to each other for help in those areas that we feel like there is a lack? So I love this section and what I gathered from John Van Epp about compatibility. The next slide talks about a balanced relationship. And I did like this as well. I am currently married, so I do find that now that we have a little baby on board, that balance is very difficult to manage. So this portion of the book and of this slide actually helped me to realize some imbalances in my relationship. So I think the key to balances or a balanced relationship regarding the book is to involve similar amounts of listening, taking initiative, and also to disclose information on both ends, whether it's negative or positive. So it's going back to the transparency portion, but also I think the listening part is super crucial. Active listening can provide a huge amount of insight into relationships. So active listening can be very important in a relationship, as well as initiation. So initiation in a relationship is important. We don't always want to be the initiator. We also want to be on the receiving end, but I think a good amount of both helps a balanced relationship and helps both parties to feel heard and seen. All right. And the last key to building a healthy relationship is the key to longevity. So this one, in regards to millennials, is huge. I think we kind of live in a society where if it's not working, then we immediately think, okay, there's someone else better. There's someone else that can fit the criteria, whatever the case may be, which is necessarily not true. So the key to longevity is to consider it, communicate about it, agree upon it, and to plan for it, which is something that John Van Epp encourages people to do prior to, placing getting into a relationship for sure. So basically giving each other the title of girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, fiance, whatever the case may be. Before you do that, you want to consider longevity. Do I want to be with this person in the long run? Do I see a future with this person? And then you want to communicate it. I want to say hey, I do find this person to be valued in my life. I do find him or her to be something that I see a future with, and I want to proceed in that manner. And then after you communicate it with that person, then you want to agree upon it. So I agree that this is something that we both want to work towards and strive for, and then you make a plan. So you plan during the dating process, you plan furthermore in any endeavors, but your focus is to always promote and to uphold the longevity of the relationship. In conclusion, I believe there are 4 keys, again, to building a healthy relationship, which are, as spoken throughout the presentation, the key to openness, the key to compatibility, the key to a balanced relationship, and the key to longevity. The last point I want to point out is that throughout the text, it basically alludes to the fact that falling in love is a choice, and it's a choice that we can actively participate in and make decisions that can promote a healthy dating lifestyle and a healthy relationship. So keeping that in mind, it does go hand in hand with, if you are a believer, that it goes hand in hand with what God wants for us, which is to choose a partner that can promote our duty to Him and our purpose in life. So we want to partner with someone that can promote that and keep it going, and also to keep us steadfast and looking towards God for understanding. And so I think that is huge, to understand that it's not just something that, oh, it just happens, and then all of a sudden we're wrapped up in our emotions and can't process information properly. It is an active choice, and all of these things that build healthy relationships are active choices. And so participating in things such as this, watching this video, and educating ourselves on how to be effective in dating and in relationships can promote longevity in our lives and also in the lives of others. Because once we are a demonstration towards healthy relationships, we can promote it and we can help others also be a part of a healthy relationship or build a healthy relationship for themselves. So I hope you enjoyed this presentation. I hope that you took something away from it, and I hope that you can share it along the way. Thank you for listening. Bye.